Hi class, welcome to tutorial 2 on CS384 for multi-threading. So this time we will see how to execute two threads. In the previous example, you had just seen a function definition print high, right? So what I'm doing this time, I'm keeping the same thread, right? I'm copying the same definition, see definition print high, and now I'm saying print by. The rest of the code is exactly same. Hi, your customer number this, and I'm getting the name of the thread, right? And in the main function also, I'm getting the thread name. So as we said, key first of all you define a thread, right? So you import the module threading, and then in the threading module we have a thread function, right? So the thread function takes the target function. So I am in the first thread, I'm passing the function print high and passing the argument 75, right? And similarly, I'm defining a second thread where I'm asking the target function as print by. You can create multiple threads calling the same function also. That is also allowed, right? We will see an example of that also. So what I'm doing, I am creating a thread here, calling the function print high and passing the argument 75. So this 75 gets copied to the num. Okay. And then we will say, hi, your customer number 75, and we will get the name of this thread. Similarly, I am making another thread and printing print by. Okay, so print by will call this particular definition, and then it will say, okay, your customer number 81, and then I'm getting the name of the thread, right? Again, as I said, whenever you want to execute the thread, you need to write t1 or whatever the thread name you are giving dot start and t1 dot join, just to ensure that the thread is complete. So till the time, because see, in this process how the execution will take place, this thread is initialized, the thread is then executed. So for this start, it will basically go to this function, execute the entire function. So basically t1 dot join ensures that the entire function is executed before moving on to the next line. So when I say t1 dot start, the moment the interpreter sees that okay, there is t1 dot join, it will actually wait for this program to get execute this function to get executed completely. Fine. So let us see the output for this. So now you can see I am currently in the main thread. So the main program gets the main thread, right? I initialize t1 and then I call t1 dot start. So t1 was print high, right? So the moment I say t1 dot start, I will go to print high. Then you can see your customer number 75. Print high, currently executing thread is thread 1. So Python interpreter automatically starts numbering thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, thread 4, right? So since I'm starting the thread, it executes a parallel process, right? Parallel process, since I have a multi-core processor, it will execute it independently. But since I'm specifying t1 dot join, it will basically wait for the thread to complete the execution. It will wait for the thread to complete execution. Now the advantage and disadvantage, right? Advantage is okay, I will be assured that my whole thread is executed. Disadvantage is like, for example, if I have an infinite loop here, right? Something of an infinite loop here, right? So in that case, my program will be stuck, right? Because I'm saying t1 dot join, which says that till my complete thread t1, which is nothing but calling the function print high, is not executed, I will wait for it. Similarly, I'm saying print by, and then I'm saying start join, and the program ends, right? Now let us see what if we remove this t1 join and t2 join, right? Let us say we just comment this. Okay, and now let us see the execution. What happens? We know it will have a high customer number, then I'm executing the thread 1, then you are customer number this, executing thread 2, and we are ending the program, right? And now see what happens. So I am just asking them t1 to start, then I initialize t2 and I say t2 to start, right? So thread, as I said, is a lightweight process, it independently executes, right? And now you see current execution is main thread, obviously, because the program will begin here, right? Now it says, hi, you are customer number 75 by, right? Your customer number, your customer, and then you can see this end. So you can see there is a lot of mismatch, because hi, your customer number 75, hi, your customer number 75. After that, it should have been print hi, current executing thread should have been thread 1. right? You can see print by, and then sudden okay, you are having your customer 75, fine, your customer 75, and then it should have been print high, but you can see print high is coming here, right? And currently executing thread, and then you can see there are two thread names, thread 2 and thread 1, right? So you can see there is a lot of gibberish output that you cannot actually make out key what happened, right? And this will change every time, right? So when I execute now, this time you can see hi, you are a customer, and then it is printing by is basically here, by you are customer, and then it is printing end was basically end here, right? This was the end of the program, and then I'm printing both the numbers 75 81, and then suddenly we have print by, and then we have print high, right? Even though you are calling print high first, you can see print high, the second line output is executing and coming after print by. Now why did this happen? See, every time I execute it, it will give me a new output, right? Every time you can see the output changes, and that is the importance of the t1 dot join, right? So the moment I say t1 dot start, it will execute this function, it will execute this thread. But when the moment interpreter sees, because the interpreter is going from top to bottom one by one, the moment it sees t1 dot join, that means it says ki, okay, till the time t1 is not executed, I will actually keep on waiting for the thread t1 to complete. Now let us come back to paint and just see what happens, right? So let me just choose this, okay, main. So this is your main program, right? What is happening? So you have t1 dot start and t1 dot join. I am using the keywords s and j, s for start. Now let us keep something of a dark color, sorry. So we have t2 dot start and t2 dot join, right? So this is how your execution takes place, right? Your main program is happening. Now internally, what will OS do? Assume there was no threading at all. So no threading means you had your main program, you will execute the t1 thread, which is nothing but the print high function, right? The print high function. Afterwards this will execute, it will come to t2, and it will execute the by function. This was basically the normal execution. Now see what happens when you have a thread, right? So in this, basically the execution happens in a linear fashion, one after the other, like one at a time. But in case of threads, right, what happens here is this. The moment you start your main execution, right, the moment t1 encounters, right, so the main is actually getting executed on its own, and t1 is also getting executed on its own, right? Similarly, the moment we encounter t2, so t2 also executes on its own, right? So what happens? We have t1 executing on its own, we have the main executing on its own, and we have the t2 executing on its own, right? So now you see the difference. In this we have a single line which is going from top to bottom, right? Main is executing, t1 is executing, t2 is executing. But if actually in threads, what happen if you don't use join, right? The main will execute at its own pace, the t1 will execute at its own pace, and t2 will execute at its own pace, right? And hence we were getting this weird output every time we commented the join, we were getting a different output, right? Because it's like a race, right? T1 is having its own race, T2 is having its own race, M is having its own race. So whoever wins in the race, that particular output gets printed, right? So all the three processes or all the three threads are running independently of each other, right? But the moment we say, okay, I need to have T1 dot join and T2 dot join, right? So how the execution will take place? Okay, this is the main. I am executing a parallel process T1, right? But since it is joining, right? So in the main program, I have T1 here and I have T2 here. The moment it sees, okay, T1 thread, it will execute it parallelly, right? This is a parallel thread for T1. But since there is a join here, once it completes here, I will have to report, okay, I'm completing execution. Now T2 will take place. T2 basically goes here. There was a T2 join, and then T2 goes back to the main execution thread, right? And that is the importance of join. If there is no join, it will just start its own independent path and do a race and try to reach the goal as soon as possible. But the moment we have a join, it becomes like a branch. This is a main branch. T1 will start a parallel process back to join. T2 will start a parallel process, and using the join it will come back here. So because of this, it is ensured that the T1 is entirely executed before T1 is executed completely here and T2 is executed completely here. Hope this does make sense to you. Okay, how the threads are being executed. So if you don't use join, this is how the thread will execute. All are independent of each other. But when you have start and join, start is of course always there, but when you have the join, it will ensure that one of the threads completes its execution before beginning the other thread. Right? So I hope you get an idea why the join is important, and the start function actually executes that particular thread, right? So that's it for this video class.